With AppYourWay apps, you can have the app configured to provide titles and links in multiple languages. Here are examples of two screenshots of an app. On the left-hand side, you'll see at the top where it indicates an English with a little pull-down menu. On the right-hand side, if you selected this word English, the English and French would be displayed. If you select the French, the titles all change accordingly. However, if you do that, the user is expecting that when they select the icon, that they will actually go to a French link, a French HTML page. So to do this correctly, you'll want to make sure that you have for each link both an English and a French HTML page so that the user points to the correct language of their choice. So how do we do this? Back here in Parse, you'll notice that there's under the App Info class, there is a language, multiple languages, English and Francais. Now you can change that to any languages you choose. With that in mind, if you don't want any languages displayed at all, simply clear this out entirely, like so, and you'll no longer have any languages appearing whatsoever, except the default language. A little further down, there's a one called notification, which is multiple languages of notifications. Indicate, again, if it's English and French, make sure the English and French equivalent are here with a comma separating them. The next thing we want to do is go down to the menu class. In the menu class, there is the link, which is the default link. If you had no language choices at all, it will default to this link that you enter, as well as to this name or title. If you have multiple languages, you still have to have this link, you still have to have this name. The difference is you'll have to create a language 1 and a language 2. Within the language 1 and 2, you would simply create each of the languages in the appropriate language. So for instance, language 1 would be English, so in this case game schedules, and language 2 is the French equivalent. And this is simply a matter of entering in the language title. Where it gets to be a little more tricky is for each of the links. When you select the link, you have to include the English link first, because that's the language number 1, and the French link second, which is language number 2. The caution here is you just simply can't type these in a string in a straight format. You actually should go to your word processor, type in the very first URL, press a carriage return, then press in or type in the second URL. Each language gets separated by a carriage return, not a space. And then you can copy that and paste it here into this link. As I've done here for each of these, they have a carriage return in between each of them. So once you've done that, when the user selects the language, it will point to the language choice, language 1 or language 2. It will then, when you select the link, go to the appropriate link. But again, if you've chosen instead not to have any languages listed, then it'll default to simply the link, which is just one link, and the name that you've indicated. Okay, so your app info as well as your menus get changed accordingly.